In the top stories, Joseph and France General Hospital receives electrical upgrade. Guyana tourism boom already underway, says President Ali, and at least 39 killed in high-speed train collision in Spain. Hello and welcome to today's ZIZ Midday Major Newscast. Today is Monday, the 19th of January, 2026, and I am Jasmine Thomas. The Joseph and France General Hospital has completed major electrical upgrades aimed at improving reliability and safety across the facility. The work marks the first full upgrade of hospital's electrical system in more than 20 years, bringing backup and support infrastructure up to modern standards. Officials say the upgrades were carried out without disrupting patient care and that all emergency and critical care systems remained fully operational throughout the process. The project is expected to strengthen the hospitality's ability to maintain services during power interruptions and other emergencies. The government extended special thanks to the skilled electricians of the St. Kitts Electrical Company and the staff of the hospital, whose work and dedication ensured the smooth execution of the upgrades. And the St. Kitts Electricity Company, SCELEC, has announced scheduled maintenance outages in several areas this week. On today, Monday, 19th January, electricity will be off in Mansion until 3 o'clock this afternoon. Tomorrow, Tuesday, January 20, Cayon will be affected during the same hours from 9 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon. And on Wednesday, 21st January, areas to be affected will be St. Paul's, and they'll be without electricity between 9 and 3 in the afternoon. The company says the outages are necessary as part of ongoing work to improve reliability and is advising residents to plan accordingly. The United States has reaffirmed its support for cultural preservation in Nevis following the completion of restoration work at the historic Bath Hotel. On the 17th of January, representatives of the U.S. Embassy joined the St. Kitts and Nevis government officials, including Premier Mark Brantley and members of the Nevis Historical and Conservation Society, to mark the completion of the second phase of restoration and stabilization work at the site. The project was funded through the United States government's Ambassadors Fund for Cultural Preservation, with just over $400,000 provided across 2 phases. The Ambassadors Fund supports the protection of historical sites and cultural heritage around the world and is designed to help safeguard places of historical and cultural significance. Nevis holds particular historical importance for the United States as the birthplace of Alexander Hamilton, one of America's founding fathers, a connection that continues to shape ties between the two countries. The Bath Hotel, one of the earliest purpose-built hotels in the Caribbean, is considered a key symbol of Nevis's long tradition of hospitality and international engagement. Officials say the completed work will help ensure the site is preserved for educational and cultural use. Speaking at a brief ceremony, U.S. Embassy Chargé d'Affaires Karen Sullivan praised the Nevis Historical and Conservation Society for its role in caring for the site. She said the project highlights what can be achieved through partnership and shared commitment to preserving cultural heritage for future generations. On the regional scene, Guyana's tourism boom is no longer a future goal but an active reality. That's according to President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali, who spoke Saturday night at the opening of the Plaza Court Hotel on Main Street in Georgetown. Addressing investors and stakeholders, President Ali said rapid growth in hotel development and infrastructure signals that Guyana is ready to compete in the global tourism market. He emphasized that the sector must operate under a single national identity, describing tourism as one unified brand product, Guyana. The president identified safety, service, and experience as the 3 core pillars of the country's tourism strategy. On safety, he pointed to expanded security measures and modern surveillance systems in key areas of Georgetown. On service, he announced plans for a world-class hospitality institute to upgrade skills and meet international standards. And on visitor experience, he highlighted improvements in airport processing, public spaces, and connectivity to entertainment and recreational areas. President Ali also revealed growing international interests in hosting conferences and major events in Guyana this year. Marking the opening of the Plaza Court Hotel, he described the development as a clear signal of Guyana's readiness for the global tourism stage. And a climate-resilient hurricane shelter capable of withstanding Category 5 storms has been officially opened and activated on the island of Abaco in the Bahamas. The facility is the result of a trilateral partnership involving the government of the Bahamas, the government of India, and the United Nations Development Program, or UNDP. Designed to endure winds of up to 200 miles per hour, the shelter can accommodate as many as 800 people and will also function as a community center for year-round use. Features of the facility include solar power, water harvesting systems, disability-inclusive access, and industrial kitchen, communications infrastructure, and space for emergency operations. The project was managed by UNDP and funded through a $1 million grant from the India UN Development Fund, with additional co-financing provided by the Bahamian government. Officials say the shelter represents a major step forward in disaster preparedness and climate resilience, particularly as the Caribbean faces increasingly intense hurricane seasons. The government of the Bahamas has indicated plans to expand similar climate-resilient shelters across other vulnerable family islands. On the international scene, at least 39 people have been killed and more than 150 others injured after two high-speed trains collided in southern Spain. The accident occurred Sunday night near Ademuz, when a train traveling from Malaga to Madrid derailed and crossed onto an adjacent track, colliding with another train headed from Madrid to Huelva. Spanish Transport Minister Oscar Puente said the number of confirmed deaths may rise and expressing gratitude to rescue teams working under difficult conditions. Of the injured, 75 have been hospitalized, 15 in very serious condition, with 5 facing life-threatening injuries. All trains between Madrid and the Andalusia region have been suspended while authorities investigate the cause of the derailment. The train operating company said it has activated emergency protocols and is working closely with competent authorities to manage the situation. Spanish Prime Minister is expected to visit the crash site this morning as rescue operations continue. And leaders of all 27 European Union member states are set to hold an extraordinary meeting later this week amid rising tensions with the United States over Greenland. European Council President Antonio Costa announced the meeting Sunday, citing the significance of recent developments following comments and policy moves by U.S. President Donald Trump. The move comes after President Trump announced a 10% tariff on goods from 8 NATO allies, including Denmark, France, Germany, and the United Kingdom. The measures follow the deployment of NATO troops to Greenland for military exercises. Costa said European leaders have reaffirmed their commitment to international law, Arctic security through NATO, and solidarity with Denmark and Greenland. He also warned that tariffs would undermine transatlantic relations and said the European Union is prepared to defend itself against economic coercion, while remaining open to constructive engagement with the United States. President Trump has said the tariffs will take effect on February 1 and increase to 25% by June, remaining in place until the United States is able to acquire Greenland. Greenland is a self-governing territory of the Kingdom of Denmark. Danish and Greenlandic officials have repeatedly rejected any proposal for its sale. EU officials confirmed that upcoming summit will be held in person in Brussels as Europe continues to coordinate its response to the escalating dispute. And that's it for the international segment of the news. We now take a look at the weather. Present weather across St. Kitts and Nevis, partly cloudy skies. Winds a moderate breeze of 15 miles per hour from an easterly direction. Seas are 1.8 to 2.4 meters or 6 to 8 feet. 1.5 to 2.4 meters or 5 to 8 feet with northwesterly swells of up to 1.8 meters or 6 feet. Small craft and high surf advisories remain in effect. The weather today, partly cloudy with a 40% or a moderate chance of brief showers. Weather tonight, partly cloudy with a 60% or moderate chance of brief showers. Sunset this evening will be at around 6 o'clock, and sunrise tomorrow is set for about 15 minutes before 7. That brings us to the end of the Midday Major Newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jasmine Thomas. God bless you.